When I first arrived in Bhutan, I expected mountains, fresh air. What I didn't expect was a deep sense of meaning. A nation quietly trying to grow tenfold without losing its soul. And I did not expect to fall in love with the country, having seen so many wonderful places in my life. Here the air feels different. The pace is slower, the smiles are unforced. There is a simplicity in the way people interact. Amidst the calm, there is something bold unfolding, a dream unlike any. The king of Bhutan, Jigme Namgyel Wangchuk, has asked his people to imagine a 10x future. 10 times wealthier, yes, yet also 10 times wiser, 10 times more capable, 10 times more conscious. He's not chasing the usual kind of progress, the one measured in GDP or power. He's inviting the country to evolve, to grow without becoming greedy. I came to Bhutan to support this vision, offering what I could as part of a pro bono initiative. This is me with my fellow coaches and the people from the government that we coached last time we came. And as I walk around Thimphu and hiking also around the valley of Thimphu and talking with Bhutanese people for the first time, I realized something. Bhutan isn't just a small democratic kingdom in the Himalayas. It's a mirror reflecting what leadership, happiness, and purpose could look like if we dared to align growth with purpose, values, principles. One person who made our journey unforgettable was my new friend, Pema Tenzin. He's the founder of Bhutan Workers and Leisure. As an ex-member of parliament, he is wonderfully connected and knows so much about Bhutan. He, together with his team, showed wonderful flexibility to fulfill all the experiences our group wanted to have. And also quite a few we did not know we would get. You can find his information in the video description if you want to reach out to him directly for a trip to Bhutan. So the question I keep asking myself since this trip is, can a country truly grow tenfold in wealth, in wisdom, in courage, in consciousness, all at the same time? That question is what this video is all about. In most places, leadership is loud. It demands attention through vision statements, headlines, and very fast plans to be executed. But here, leadership feels like stillness in motion, a quiet force that moves people not through power, but through presence. I've met governors and ministers who speak softly and listen deeply. Community leaders who measure their success not by applause, but by harmony. Even in the way people bow or share tea before a conversation, you can feel it. This is leadership which is steering towards vision, participation, affiliation. Those are some of the most positive leadership styles that you can see from Daniel Goleman's model here on the screen and also in this video here. In Bhutan, leadership isn't about commanding others, which is one of the leadership styles that you see all too often in the world. It's about serving and participating in something greater. The people, the land, the generations yet to come. The king himself speaks often of service, not as a duty, but as a devotion. He reminds his nation that growth means little unless it uplifts everyone. By doing this, he is the embodiment of the visionary leadership style. And as I watch and listen to some of his videos, I was reminded of something I deeply believe in. When leadership is calm, people can breathe. When it is grounded in care, people rise. In a world that celebrates the loudest voice, Bhutan teaches that true power lies in the quiet courage to serve. So let me ask you and myself a question. What if our leadership in work or in life wasn't about control, but about care? What if growth meant expanding the space around us so others can grow too? Maybe that's the real meaning of 10x. Having more care and positive impact while becoming 10 times wiser. You like this video so far? Then you know what to do. Also subscribe and put on notifications if you want to receive content like this every week. Check out other YouTube videos from famous YouTube channels in the video description. It's always good to take a look at a topic through multiple lenses. Every culture faces a moment of choice. To evolve or to fade beautifully into nostalgia. Bhutan is standing at that crossroad. And what makes this place extraordinary is that he knows it. Here, tradition isn't a museum. It's alive, prayed, sung, danced, and worn. You feel it in the colors of the robes, the sounds of the bells, the way people greet you with both hands. It's sacred, but it's not untouchable. Because Bhutan also knows that what doesn't change dies. Its king has challenged the nation to honor what is timeless: spirituality, community, respect for nature, while daring to transform what no longer serves. That takes a lot of courage and experimentation, because change doesn't just threaten comfort, it questions identity. Effectively, he's asking the entire country to reach a higher level of consciousness. I've talked about those levels in this video right here. We individually go through levels of consciousness throughout our life, and countries can do too. Most countries claim to protect their culture while quietly hiding behind it. We might say, this is who we are, when what we really mean is we're afraid to change. And Bhutan is trying something few nations dare: to renew its identity consciously, to stay rooted but not stuck, to bring ancient wisdom into a modern reason. It's not easy. Tradition whispers, stay safe. The future calls, come forward. And somewhere in between stands the soul of a nation, deciding what to carry and what to release. Maybe that's a question for all of us too. What part of our own culture, personal, family, national, deserves to be protected? And what needs to evolve so we can grow? Because growth isn't betrayal of what matters. It's reverence for what matters in motion. Bhutan is trying to prove that culture doesn't have to choose between purity and progress. It can be both, ancient in spirit and modern in courage. Bhutan's young people are its heartbeat. They are kind, educated, full of promise, and yet many are leaving Bhutan. Not because they reject Bhutan's vision, but because they crave something every human soul longs for: freedom to shape their own path, to explore, to become. Some call it a crisis. I see it as a mirror, a reflection of three timeless needs that live in all of us. The first is autonomy, the wish to direct our own lives, to say, this is my choice, my creation. The second is relatedness, to feel seen, connected to others, part of a story bigger than ourselves. And the third is competence, the quiet hunger to grow, to master, to contribute, and to be recognized for it. You can learn more about this framework of essential psychological needs in this video here. Together, those three form the essence of thriving for a nation, a company, or a single human being. The young people I see in Bhutan are not running away from happiness. They're running toward possibility. And that's what Bhutan is working on now, to bring happiness and progress as partners, not opposite, to bring those opportunities to its young people. That's why Bhutan also needs the modernity aspect together with the deep culture. Because peace without purpose becomes stillness, and purpose without peace becomes exhaustion. Every generation must find its own balance between the two, just as every person must find the balance between who they are and who they're becoming. So maybe Bhutan's youth are not a problem to solve. They are asking a simple question: how can I get more autonomy, relatedness, and competence in my life? Bhutan isn't just a place, it's a question. A question the world desperately needs to hear. Because while most nations are racing toward more growth, more production, more noise, Bhutan dares to ask, at what cost? It measures success not by gross domestic product, GDP, which is basically wealth, but by gross national happiness, GNH. GNH is made of 9 domains and 33 indicators focused on Bhutanese people living a meaningful, healthy, and balanced life. And in doing so, it reminds us of something we've almost forgotten, that the purpose of progress is not only comfort, it's also about consciousness. Bhutan is proving that you can build schools without breaking spirit, grow economies without shrinking empathy, modernize without losing meaning. It's not perfect, no country is. But perfection is not the point. Trying to make it happen is the point. Awareness and inner growth are the point. Because whether we lead a country, a team, or just a single life, our task is the same: to grow without losing ourselves. So here is the invitation Bhutan leaves with us all. Be ambitious, but be awake. Build, but build with balance. Change, but change with care. If Bhutan manages to renew itself without erasing its essence, then so can we, as people, as nations, as a planet. Hopefully the future doesn't belong to the busiest countries, but to the most balanced ones. I could talk about how great the culture of Bhutan is for a long time. So there is only one way to know for sure. Go see for yourself. It is not an easy or cheap trip, but it's worth every penny. I'll leave you with a word from the Dalai Lama. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. If you're interested in living a life of deep choice and purpose, then you will probably like this video here.